Hello, BookTube! I'm Stina, and I'm here today to do the 90s tag with the help of Special Assistant Stitch. Cutest phone case ever, am I right? Okay, so let's get to this. My disclaimer here, my mother busted her butt in college while I was a kid growing up in the 90s with my brother Jacob, and then she got pregnant and she had my other brother David. We were on welfare, and we didn't have things like the Disney Channel or Nickelodeon or any of that cable stuff. So when I did get to see anything from the Disney Channel or from Nickelodeon, it was because either it made it over on ABC for one Saturday morning, which, might I just say, was the best.
Avast virus database has been updated.
Really, one Saturday morning, which, might I add, is the absolute best morning cartoon series ever. Or there was something special that I asked my dad to record for me. So, that being said, let's get started. Special Assistant Stitch, what is the first question? Alright, number 1. Favorite Disney Channel original movie? There was one, I don't remember what it's called, but it had the youngest Lawrence brother in it, and he was working on a science project, and he ended up cloning himself. I really enjoyed that one, but if there was one that I watched a million bajillion times, it was Model Behavior, all because of Justin Timberlake. I was obsessed with Justin Timberlake. I can't safely say that I'm not still obsessed with Justin Timberlake, but I miss the curls. Right, number 2, favorite music artist? NSYNC. Oh my gosh, love! I also liked the Backstreet Boys. I was not one of those, you have to like NSYNC or you have to like the Backstreet Boys, you can't like both. Though, I did like NSYNC better, I didn't completely boycott the Backstreet Boys. Let's just say that I had my dad record for me all the MTV specials on NSYNC, and I really didn't even bother when it came to the Backstreet Boys. The only time I ever showed any interest in the Backstreet Boys was over Christmas, when I was hanging out with my cousin Trisha. She and I kind of fought over AJ, so I don't know. Nowadays, I look back at the Backstreet Boys, though, and I feel like Kevin is more my type. And as far as NSYNC goes, it's just, I mean, Justin. Beautiful man. My friend Monica and I from junior high and high school, we used to throw birthday parties whenever it was, birthdays of NSYNC members. And I remember, aside from Justin, we were both extremely obsessed with JC, and we actually made a cake. I made a big banner and put it up on the outside of the garage and everything for his birthday one year. I know I'm telling embarrassing stories, so moving on. Okay, question number 3. Favorite Nick Jr. show? Okay, this is one where, like I said, I didn't have access to Nickelodeon or the Disney Channel on a daily basis like a lot of 90 kids did. So, I'm trying to think, back to one Saturday morning or other places that I was able to see Nickelodeon cartoons, and the 2 that come to mind instantly are Doug and Rugrats. I absolutely adored both of those, but if I had to pick one, I would definitely pick Doug. Patty Mayonnaise, Skeeter, Guy, I mean, it was just, I loved knowing that I was waking up on Saturday mornings to watch Doug. It was just great. But the Rugrats are also awesome. I mean, look at Chucky. He's the bestest. That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. And he's got crazy hair and glasses, and I bet you he's a booktuber now. Just saying. Alright, moving on. Next question, please. Favorite candy? Favorite candy? Definitely candy buttons. Those have been my favorite for so long. When I want to say around 10 or 12, I remember being in the mall with my mom, and they have this candy store called the Sweet Factory. and you know, we would always go in there and we would get candy there to take into the dollar movie theaters with us and everything. And I remember I saw the candy buttons one day, and I was like, what? Because they seemed so familiar, like I could remember having them at some point, but part of me, it was weird. It was like I thought that it was a dream or something that I had made up or something, but no, they were freaking real. So I started getting those all the time, and then I didn't have them for years and years and years. And then back in 2011, I was down at Wet n Wild Phoenix, the water park we have out here, and I was with the guy that I was dating at the time, and they have this big candy store there. And we went in and they had candy buttons. They had, you know, the small original ones that us 90 kids love, and then they also had some bigger ones. So I like stocked up like a crazy person, like an apocalypse was coming and I was going to survive off candy buttons because they gave me amazing zombie killing powers, which they do. That'll be our little secret. I love them. I want some now, but I'm on a low carb diet and I can't have sugar. Alright, next question. Favorite game? Super Mario Brothers. Don't let anyone ever tell you that blowing on your game cartridge doesn't make it work, or doesn't make it work, because it does. It was like a special 90s kid power or something. I also loved Candyland as far as board games go, as well as Monopoly. Monopoly is awesome. I actually collect editions of Monopoly now. Currently in the house I have Disney Monopoly, Star Wars Monopoly, the original Monopoly, and for his birthday, or maybe it was Christmas, my mom actually got my stepdad World of Warcraft Monopoly, which I play with him often, but I really don't understand what's going on with all the properties and stuff in the World of Warcraft edition, because I have played World of Warcraft. My mom sent me one of those 2-week trials, and I played a little bit during that time, but the whole time that I was playing World of Warcraft, I was like, I could be writing a story, or I could be reading a story, and so, you know, it's just, some people are really into video games and things like that, and my mom and my stepdad are some of those people, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. They're not even really big on movies. I mean, they love going to the movies, but other than that, like, my mom puts a movie on when she's going to bed at night, so if I try to get her to watch a movie with me during the day, if it's not at the theater, she's probably going to fall asleep. Anyway. Alright, next question. Oh, as far as games go, I also love Kingpin and Dodgeball, as far as school games go. And those little tiny scooter things that we could sit on during PE and roll around on, those were the best until you crushed your fingers. Okay, moving on. Favorite McDonald's Happy Meal toy? I feel like I need to look through and see a list of all the, different promotions that McDonald's had throughout the 90s, but I do remember the Beanie Babies. Those were amazing. My grandmother actually collected those. She had like an entire room in her house dedicated to Beanie Babies, and I loved going in there. It was awesome. Aside from that, like I said, I would have to go back and look, but I did love the Barbie/Hot Wheel editions of Happy Meals. You know, the girls got the Barbies and the boys got the Hot Wheels. I remember being a little rebel when I was 10 and being like, Mom, tell them I'm a boy so they'll give me a car. And those are just my favorite. But I also really, really loved the plates and the cups and things like that from like the different movies and stuff like that. So my dad collected all that stuff when I was a kid, so I'm sure he's got stuff stashed in storage somewhere. I'll have to get that out someday and do a like huge long haul and be like, look. It'd be a nice trip back to the 90s for a lot of us. Okay, next question. Favorite book? We're on BookTube here, guys. I mean, I know there are people that aren't from BookTube that are seeing this, but you asked me what my favorite book is, and I'm going to have problems telling you. And then you asked me what my favorite book is from the 90s, I'm still going to have problems telling you. I love the Amelia Bedelia series. I love Roald Dahl books. I loved Captain Underpants. I loved comic books. I loved everything. But I think I'm going to go with the Frog and the Toad series just because those are the first books that I remember reading by myself. Yeah, they were assigned in class, but I love to read them over and over and over again. Yes. And also the Disney fairy tales. I really didn't get my hands on the real actual fairy tales until I was about 15, and now I'm obsessed with them. Alright. Oh, and as far as a childhood book, I loved that, I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. I love, love, love that book. I need to get my hands on it again. Okay, favorite clothing store. Hello, welfare kid. Really didn't care what I was wearing. I was always running around outside, playing with my friends. I was in shorts and a t-shirt, or pants and a t-shirt, hoodie when needed. I did have dresses for church and for Easter and things like that, but they always got ruined because I loved going outside, and I didn't always go and change into my play clothes after church, and then I would get in trouble for ripping my church dress. But you know, those are great memories from the 90s. So, and next, looks like this is the last question. What would you watch when you got home from school? I got home from school a little bit before 3. I went straight home, put my backpack in my bedroom, made my snack, sat down in front of the TV, and watched Animaniacs. Pinky and the Brain, Itty Bitty Kitty Goes Kaboom, the Warner Brothers and the Warner Sister Dot. It was great. And then of course on Saturdays, I watched one Saturday morning. I also loved watching Goosebumps and things like that. And, oh, Zoom on Channel 8, K-A-E-T. I loved watching Zoom. Z-mail, signing off to Zoom. Anyways. So yeah, alright, that concludes the 90s tag. This is really fun. If you guys have any other tags that you would like me to do, just let me know. And if you haven't completed the 90s tag yet, get on it, man. You can leave a video response to this video or to any of the original videos. I actually am going to be attaching this to Cameron's video, Book Movie Guy, and I will link him down in the description below. He's really great, especially if you love books or movies, and I can pretty much guarantee that you like one or the other, if not both. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video, okay? Toodles!